Hello, everybody. You're listening to Let's Master English, and my name is Coach Shane. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Let's Master English. This is podcast number 30. Wow, already number 30. Thank you so much for downloading this podcast and listening to this podcast. The podcast is brought to you by you. Because you are listening to this podcast, I keep making it. And I sincerely appreciate everyone who listens. In today's podcast, we have a great story with a very happy ending. We have some very interesting facts from Country Shane. And today we have 6 questions from you, including our first audio question. And all of that is coming up. So, enough chit-chat. Let's begin. This story is about a little piggy that was heading for the market, but not for the chance to shop, rather to be turned into a chop. And she knew it. Climbing on top of her doomed oinkers in the back of a slaughterhouse-bound truck, she jumped out onto a busy street and made it to safety. The swine will now dine at a local police station where she has been adopted. A police spokesman promised that never a fork shall go into that pork. What? What am I talking about? Well, let me read it again a little bit slower. This story is about a little piggy that was heading for the market, but not for the chance to shop, rather to be turned into a chop. And she knew it. Climbing on top of her doomed oinkers in the back of a slaughterhouse-bound truck, she jumped out onto a busy street and made it to safety. The swine will now dine at a local police station where she has been adopted. A police spokesman promised that never a fork shall go into that pork. All right, so I've got lots of rhyme, but did you understand what the story is about? You will. Don't worry, let's start with the first sentence. This story is about a little piggy that was heading for the market. All right, now, in one of our recent DDM lessons, we talked about a children's poem that described piggies. So the DDM students know the story, but in this case, I'll just explain the simple definition of the sentence. A little piggy refers to a pig. And actually, this pig was a big pig. But anyway, it sounds cute, a little piggy. And this story is about a little piggy, a pig, that was heading for the market. Okay, so heading for means to be going to. Okay, so this pig was going to the market. This story is about a little piggy that was heading for the market. Now, usually when we go to the market, why do we go? We go shopping. The next sentence. But not for the chance to shop, rather to be turned into a chop. Okay, so this piggy was heading to the market to go shopping? No. Not for the chance to shop, S-H-O-P, not for the opportunity to shop. Usually people go to the market to shop, but this piggy was not going to the market to shop. So why was the piggy going to the market? Rather, instead, to be turned into a chop. Okay, so the first word was shop, S-H-O-P. The last word was chop, C-H-O-P. A chop. What is a chop? Basically, it is pig meat that is very similar to a steak. So when we talk about pig, the meat, there are different types of meat. There are pork chops, which are like beef steaks. There are sausages, of course. There's bacon, and many people enjoy bacon for breakfast. I know in many cultures people do not eat pig, so I hope this is not a disgusting story. So listen again. So this pig was heading for the market, but not for the chance to shop, rather to be turned into a chop. Okay, so this piggy was going to the market in order to be killed. And then the butcher, the person who kills the pig, we could call him or her a butcher, B-U-T-C-H-E-R. They kill animals and cut the animals into meat. Oh, this story sounds so disgusting. So the plan for the pig was to harvest the pig so that people can eat the meat of the pig. All right, so this is very sad, very sad. And she knew it. This pig knew that she was going to the market not to shop, but to be turned into a chop. And actually, they say that animals, when they're going to their final place to be killed and turned into meat, animals seem to know this. So the animals are very scared. Yeah, maybe after listening to this story, some of you will want to be vegetarians. Let's go to the next sentence. Climbing on top of her doomed oinkers in the back of a slaughterhouse-bound truck, she jumped out onto a busy street and made it to safety. So do you understand, basically? So this pig was in a truck. Where was the truck going? A slaughterhouse-bound truck. So something bound means going to that area. So for example, school-bound means to be going to school. Store-bound means to be going to the store. In this case, slaughterhouse-bound. So what is a slaughterhouse? S-L-A-U-G-H-T-E-R-H-O-U-S-E. That's one word, slaughterhouse. Slaughterhouse is a terrible word. That is the place where animals are killed and the meat is cut. That is a slaughterhouse. So she was in a truck, a slaughterhouse-bound truck, and she climbed on top of her doomed oinkers. Oinkers, O-I-N-K-E-R-S. That's a word which means pigs. Now, if you think of a pig, what kind of noise do pigs make in your country? In America, pigs, this is how pigs speak. And we write that as oink, 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 O-I-N-K. So oinkers are people or animals or things that go oink. Oinkers means pigs. So this truck was full of pigs, many, 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 many pigs. And she knew this was not a good thing. So she climbed up a tree? No. She climbed up a ladder? No. She climbed on top of her doomed oinkers. All the pigs were doomed. In this case, to be doomed means to have a terrible destiny, probably to die. I am doomed. I am doomed to fail. He is doomed to be fired from his job. All of us, humans, we are doomed to die. Hopefully our deaths will be nice. Well, this pig was doomed. All those pigs were doomed to be slaughtered, to be turned into meat. So once again, this little piggy, she climbed on top of her doomed oinkers in the back of a slaughterhouse-bound truck. And then what did she do? She jumped out onto a busy street and made it to safety. Yay! So she was in the back of the truck and she jumped out onto a busy street and made it to. She made it to safety. She arrived at a safe place. She escaped. She ran away and she survived. The next sentence. The swine will now dine at a local police station where she has been adopted. The swine, S-W-I-N-E. This is another word for pig. So we have piggy, we have oinker, and now we have swine. The swine will now dine. Dine, D-I-N-E, to eat. The swine will now eat. The pig will now eat where? At a local police station. So near the area where she escaped, there was a police station. And at that police station, they adopted her. They accepted her into their family as a pet. So now she is living very safely with the local police. And she's going to be eating nice food at the police station. And the last sentence, a police spokesman promised that never a fork shall go into that pork. So in this case, pork refers to pig meat. And they're talking about her, the little piggy. Never a fork. A fork, of course, this is a utensil that we use to eat. Many people use a fork, a spoon, and a knife. In Asia, many people use chopsticks. In this case, never a fork shall go into that pork. No one will ever eat this pig. She will be a happy pig for the rest of her life. It's a happy story, but yes, the beginning of the story is not very nice, but it's reality. If you eat meat, if you buy meat at the supermarket, all those animals have gone to a slaughterhouse. I know, it's something that we do not like to think about, but it's reality. And we have to know that. All right, so we had lots of good words. Piggy, P-I-G-G-Y. In this case, in this story, piggy simply means a pig. Now, another definition of piggy would be your toes. So everybody has fingers on your hands and toes on your feet. And to children, we call the toes little piggies. I don't know why we call them piggies, but we call them piggies. So you have the big piggy, then at the end you have the little piggy, the baby piggy. So it's just kind of cute. And there is an American children's poem that talks about the piggies on your feet. And the funny story is, The first piggy, the big piggy, went to the market. So once again, the DDM students know about that story. So to the DDM students, what happened to the little piggy? The little piggy went wee, wee, wee all the way home. If you're wondering what is Coach Shane talking about, join DDM. So, piggy is the first word, and in this story, it just means a little pig. Heading for means going to. This afternoon, I'll be heading for my parents' house. I'll be going to my parents'. The chance to do something. The opportunity to do something. To be turned into something. Turned into means made into or even changed into. In this case, turned into a chop. A chop refers to a pork steak. It's a type of meat. So for beef, we usually just say steak, a beef steak. But for the same type of meat in a pig, we'll say a pork chop. Okay, beef steak, pork chop. The next word, doomed oinkers. And I talked about oinkers. O-I-N-K is the sound that pigs in America make. Oink, 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 oink. Doomed means destined for something terrible. Doomed to be fired. Doomed to die. Doomed to fail your exam. So doomed oinkers means oinkers that will be killed and turned into meat. Kind of a sad story. Slaughterhouse. S-L-A-U-G-H-T-E-R-H-O-U-S-E. A slaughterhouse is a place where animals are harvested for their meat. Okay? And you can find these sometimes in the country, but also in some markets they'll have a slaughterhouse. Slaughterhouse bound, B-O-U-N-D. And actually it's slaughterhouse-bound. Slaughterhouse bound means going to the slaughterhouse. School bound, going to school. Made it to. Made it to means to arrive at some place. And the nuance is, it probably wasn't easy. It was a little bit difficult. So in this case, the pig made it to safety. So it has the nuance of escaped. It escaped to safety. Swine, S-W-I-N-E. This is another word for pig. To dine, D-I-N-E, means to eat. Adopted, A-D-O-P-T-E-D. Adopted means to accept someone or something into your family. So normally that person or that animal wasn't in your family, but you have accepted it. So we often hear about children who are adopted. The child was born maybe with no parents, or maybe the parents were very poor and they could not take care of the child, so another family adopts the child. In this case, the pig was adopted by the local police station. Fork. A fork is a utensil or a tool that we use to eat. And pork is the word that describes meat from a pig. Beef is meat from a cow. Mutton, M-U-T-T-O-N, is meat from a lamb. So different types of meat have different names, but altogether we can just say meat. And remember, everybody, if you don't like this story, but if you do eat meat, well, then you have to know the truth. The slaughterhouse is a cruel place. And the animals, they say the animals know when they're going to the slaughterhouse. It's a sad story, but this little pig was very lucky. Okay? So I hope that you enjoyed the story. I tried to make it funny. We used some rhymes, shop and chop, swine and dine, and fork and pork. And there was also a pun in the beginning. This little piggy went to the market is from a children's story actually talking about your toes. But in this story, it was about a pig that really was going to the market. Okay, let me read the story 2 more times, and I hope you can visualize what was happening. This story is about a little piggy that was heading for the market, but not for the chance to shop, rather to be turned into a chop. And she knew it. Climbing on top of her doomed oinkers in the back of a slaughterhouse-bound truck, she jumped out onto a busy street and made it to safety. The swine will now dine at a local police station where she has been adopted. A police spokesman promised that never a fork shall go into that pork. This story is about a little piggy that was heading for the market, but not for the chance to shop, rather to be turned into a chop. And she knew it. Climbing on top of her doomed oinkers in the back of a slaughterhouse-bound truck, she jumped out onto a busy street and made it to safety. The swine will now dine at a local police station where she has been adopted. A police spokesman promised that never a fork shall go into that pork. How you doing, everybody? This is Country Shane, and I'm here to bring you the facts. Pigs are not only smart, they're not that dirty, and they don't eat like pigs. Mama pigs give their baby pigs, or piglets, names. And they even sing to them while nursing. This has been Country Shane bringing you the facts. Wow! Amazing. So pigs are smart. They say that pigs are actually smarter than dogs. And pigs are not that dirty. We have the image that pigs are very dirty, but actually, they're not. And pigs don't eat like pigs. We have the image that pigs eat a lot of food and are very messy and very dirty, but actually, pigs eat very slow. They chew their food a lot, and they prefer a clean environment to eat. And there's more. Mama pigs, we can also call those pigs sows, S-O-W-S. Mama pigs give their baby pigs names. Really? Each little pig has its own different name. I'm serious. This is what science says. By the way, baby pigs are also called piglets. P-I-G-L-E-T-S. A baby cat is called a kitten. A baby dog is called a puppy. And a baby pig is called a piglet. And Country Shane gave us one more fact. Mama pigs even sing to the piglets while nursing. So while the baby pigs are drinking milk from the mother pig sings. Of course, she doesn't sing like a human, but she does some sort of pig song. I don't know, like, I guess that's a pig song. This is amazing. Pigs are actually very amazing animals, and science does a lot of study on pigs, and they realize that pigs are very similar to humans. So maybe we shouldn't be eating pork. Oh man, that's a tough one. Thanks a lot, Country Shane. Okay, it's time for some questions and answers, and today we have a lot. So I'm going to try and keep the answers short, but I hope that I give you a good answer. So the first question is from Jerry Zhao. Jerry Zhao, he's from Qingdao in China, which is very famous for beer and clams. Sounds kind of delicious. Jerry's question is, what is the correct pronunciation of W? X, Y, Z. You know, in the alphabet. R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. What's the correct pronunciation? Is it W, W, W? Well, Jerry, the correct American pronunciation is double U. So just think of two U's. That is the literal proper pronunciation. Double U. Double U. However, Jerry, when we do say it fast, that L sound comes over, and what we hear is W. W. So, I think in the dictionary it will show you double U, but actually, when Americans say it, the L does connect, and it sounds like W. 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 Okay, I hope that answers your question, Jerry. Thank you. The next question is from Sandeep Naga. And Sandeep has two questions. Can the TH sound like a D? So, for example, for the. Is it possible to say for the? Well, Sandeep, yes and no. In proper English, the TH should not sound like a D. However, it happens, especially in something called Ebonics. Okay? In Ebonics, many black Americans, and not only African Americans, not only black Americans, but white Americans too, Spanish Americans too, do change the TH to a D sound. So there's a very famous rapper called 50 Cent, and he has a song called In the Club, in the nightclub. But the title of his song is actually In the Club, in the club. So instead of the, he does write D-A. So Sandeep, my answer is yes, the TH can sound like a D. However, I recommend not using that pronunciation unless you want to make rap music, I guess. But I recommend that you try to keep the TH sound, okay? His next question is, when S is next to a Y, can it have an SH sound? So, for example, miss you, can it sound like miss you? Kiss you, can it sound like kiss you? Increase your, can it sound like increase your? And once again, my answer is yes, but no. Yes, it does happen, Sandeep. It is possible. I miss you so much. I miss you. However, I don't do that. I don't think I do that. I highly recommend keeping the S sound. So instead of miss you, say miss you. Miss you. I miss you so much. Kiss you. Kiss you. Kiss you. Keep the S sound. Increase your. Keep the S sound and say increase your. Increase your. Your usually changes to your. Increase your. But once again, is it possible? Yes, it is possible to have an SH sound. For me, even when I say it really fast, I would say I do not have an SH sound. But I don't know, maybe sometimes I do. So Sandeep, my answer to you is when you are speaking, keep the S, keep the TH, keep the pronunciation as clear as possible. But when you are listening to English, it is possible for an American to change the TH to a D, and it is possible for an American to change that SY to something similar to an SH. I hope that answers your question, Sandeep. Thank you very much. Our next question is from Hui Arsene, and he asks, what does check it out in a rap song mean? So here we are in rap music again, and many times when you're listening to a rap song, especially a long time ago, this is very 1980s, 1990s, but the rapper would say, check it out, check it out. And what that means is, listen to my words, listen to my beat, listen to my music, listen to my rhyme, listen to my story. So depending on when the rapper says, check it out, it has a different meaning. After he says, check it out, if he gives you a story, it means listen to my story. Check it out. If they play music, it means listen to my beat. Got it? Okay, let's go to our next question. This is from Albin. Now, Albin made a comment on one of my podcasts that I made a long time ago, podcast 21. And in that podcast, there was a question about hyphen and dash. And I told everybody that hyphen and dash in daily American regular English mean the same thing. A hyphen is a short dash. Now, we do have something called a long dash. But if we just say dash, we mean hyphen, a short dash. But that is not true in all countries, especially in Slovakia. In Slovakia, Albin teaches me, a hyphen is a longer line and joins two words. And in the case of Slovakia, it joins two countries. Whereas a dash is a shorter line and separates two words, or in the case of Slovakia, two nations. So this is really interesting. It's almost the opposite meaning in English. And if you go to Wikipedia, they do have something called the hyphen war. Hyphen, war, W-A-R. And this is a story about how the Czechoslovak Republic was split up into two independent countries, and the controversy caused by the hyphen. So thank you so much for teaching us this hidden value, especially in Slovakia, with hyphen and dash. And he also continues, your DDM lessons, your podcasts, your YouTube videos are bloody fantastic. Well done, buddy. Thank you so much, Albin, and thank you for teaching me and teaching everybody about the special meaning of hyphen and dash in Slovakia. Our next question is from Papillonage. I hope my pronunciation is okay. The American pronunciation would be papillonage. Now, the question is, Sting, who's a very famous singer, has a song called Shape of My Heart. It's a beautiful song. But in the song, Sting sings, he don't play for respect. He don't play for respect. That's terrible English. Could you explain why he said that? Okay, so yes, proper English would be he doesn't play for respect. So why does Sting use bad grammar? Well, most likely he used bad grammar to keep the rhythm of the song. He don't play, he doesn't play. It has an extra syllable or an extra beat. So actually, this is the problem with learning grammar, learning expressions, and learning pronunciation in songs. Because sometimes the singers will change the pronunciation of a word or change the grammar of a sentence or even the structure within a verse in order to match the music. So be careful, everybody, when you're studying English in a pop song, and you have to recognize sometimes they do change the grammar, they do change expressions, and they do change pronunciation in order to make the song sound better. Okay? So my guess is Papillonage, he used improper grammar so that the song would sound better for the rhythm, for the tempo. Okay? All right, and our last question is from Pavel Ocampo, and he sent me an MP3. So let's listen.
Hello, Coaching. This is Pavel, and my question is in a specific situation in DD 162, the one with lots of phrasal verbs, which, by the way, was really hard to dictate. Really hard. And my question is about pronunciation in the two-word next thing, and it's something like, well, he throws down his bat, he comes racing up to the mound. Next thing, both benches are cleared, a brouhaha breaks out, and on and on and on. And that's my question. Next thing, or next thing? I hear next thing. Well, that's it. And I really appreciate what you're doing for us. I've seen all your videos, and I've been trying to mimic every one of them, and I think I'm getting better at English thanks to you. Thank you, Coach.
Well, first of all, Pavel, your English sounds great. I'm so impressed. And you said you're trying to mimic everything I say. Yes, that is the key. If you can say it, you can hear it. If you can say it like a native English speaker, you can hear it. So his question is, next thing. Now, especially in my DDM videos, but also in DD, I do talk about cancellation, and we have something called the cancellation matrix. Well, basically, the S sound is a strong sound, and the T and the TH, those are weak sounds. So in many situations in daily English, the S can cancel the T or the TH sound when they're next to each other. So in this case, we have next thing. Now the first thing that happens is when we say next thing fast, the T and the TH combine. They link. And we only hear the TH. So listen carefully. Next thing. And faster. Next thing. Next thing. Next thing. Now remember, the S sound can cancel the TH. So let me say it again. I'll go from slow to medium to fast and listen to what happens. Next thing, 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 next thing. So as I say it faster, the TH sound disappears. Pavel, you heard correctly. Next thing you know, next thing you know, next thing you know, we can absolutely cancel that TH sound. So when Americans hear next thing, we hear it in the sentence. So because of the sentence, because of the context, we have no problem understanding next thing, even though we say next thing. Okay, so the next thing I want to do, the next thing I want to say, the next thing you're going to see. Do you understand? Pavel, you're doing an excellent job. And yes, the TH can absolutely be canceled. Next thing is a very common pronunciation. Thank you so much to everybody for these questions. Keep sending them in. Remember, you can find me on Twitter, that is at Coach Shane. You can find me on Facebook, that's ESL Coach Shane. And we have a fantastic community on Google+, and the community is called Let's Master English. And on our community, we have a huge group of people who are dictating these podcasts, and they're doing such an excellent job. The last couple of dictations have been led by Azin. And Azin, my hat is off to you. You are doing a fantastic job. Thank you so much. So join those communities, follow me, and if you have a question, leave one. And I'll do my best to include it in a podcast. Now, I do get lots of questions, so sometimes it's difficult to answer everybody, but I try my best. Thanks a lot, you guys. Well, it is time to finish up Let's Master English Podcast 30. I hope that you have enjoyed the podcast. Now, today, the first thing I want to do at the end of the podcast is introduce the people who have left comments and ratings on iTunes. It means so much to me, and it really helps other people find the podcast. Because, there are so many English podcasts on iTunes, on the internet. So if you leave a rating and if you leave a comment, iTunes thinks that this podcast must be very good, very popular, so they increase the chance that other people can find the podcast. So thank you so much. So, who do we have? First off, from Russia, Mr. Natast. Very useful and funny. Great job. Spasibo. Spasibo, Mr. Natast. Thank you so much. Next, from Ireland. This is Dacky Bryan. Great lesson. Good. Dacky Bryan. Can I call you Brian? Thank you so much. Are you an Irish man, or are you a student studying in Ireland? I'm curious because actually my family history on my mother's side comes from Ireland. And one day I really hope to visit the island of Ireland. It looks so beautiful. If I can, maybe even I'll live there one day. Thank you so much, Brian. I appreciate that. Our next comment comes from Saudi Arabia, from Mohammed Khalid. Many thanks, Coach Shane. Thank you. You're doing a great job and a big favor to those of us who want to improve our English, especially to me. I am devoted to you. I learned this phrase from you. Mohammed, I am devoted to you. I'm devoted to all of you. I'm here to do my best to help you master this confusing language. Thank you so much. Shukran, Mohammed. And our next question comes from Italy. Walter Marchi. You are the best. I'm Walter Marchi from Italy, and you are the best. Grazie, Walter. And thank you so much for leaving a comment and being a sponsor. It means so much. Our next comment comes from Thailand, from Mai Lang. English is not boring anymore. Hello, Coach Shane. This podcast is very helpful, and you are a great teacher. You make me have fun. Very, very, very fun to learn English. Thank you very much for making this podcast. Okay, what's my Thai? Kap kum klap. Kap kum kap. Oh, I can't remember, but I want to say thank you so much. I tried in Thai, but I'm sure my pronunciation was terrible. Thank you again. Our next one is from Japan. Thank you, Coach Shane. This is a pleasant podcast. I'm not young, and my progress is as slow as a snail. So I had actually given up learning English many times, but Coach Shane's podcast has encouraged me. I also recommend Daily Easy English Expression Podcast 2. Coach Shane, I'll join DDM lessons soon. From Hiroko in Japan. Domo arigato gozaimasu. Domo arigato gozaimasu. Thank you so much, Hiroko. Hiroko's message actually is very important to me. Many of our listeners, many people who watch my videos, are in their 40s, their 50s, their 60s, and their 70s. I know I have one student in their 80s. Is there anybody in their 90s? If so, let me know. It would be my great honor to know that. But the important thing is a lot of us who are older, not young pups anymore, 40s, 50s, 60s, English it's terrible, and we want to give up. And it's my goal to help you, to help everybody, but especially to encourage people who are a little bit older, to show them that English, it can be fun. You don't have to worry so much about grammar. Vocabulary, yes, of course, it's important, but it's not everything. What's more important is to enjoy studying English, to have fun while you're studying English, and to make it a daily habit, something that you do every day. Hiroko said, I also recommend Daily Easy English Expression Podcast 2. That's right. Now, Let's Master English is once a week, but Daily Easy English Expression is every day. It's about 6 minutes long. It teaches you one expression, one word, sometimes pronunciation, but it's a podcast that you can listen to easily every day. And having English part of your everyday life is really important. So, Hiroko, thank you so much. Our next comment comes from Australia, from Sassy Fack, Sassiphak. Good. I like it. Really good English practice. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And I want to remind everybody, whether you are in Australia or Ireland or the UK or the United States or wherever, learning American English is a benefit. Because of Hollywood movies, American TV shows, pop music, Wherever you go, native English speakers in Australia, the UK, Ireland, they're used to hearing American English. So it's easy for them to understand most Americans. So you learning American English, even if you live in Australia, is still a benefit. So thank you very much. And our next one comes from Pavel. Once again, Pavel Ocampo in Mexico. 1 in a million. I recently found DD, then E cubed, and now your podcasts. And Coach Shane, you are the best ever. I sincerely hope that everybody out there looking for some exceptional, real English lessons finds you. Because once they find this place, they're not going anywhere else. Oh, Pavel, you humble me. Thank you so much. It's my honor, it's my pleasure to be your English coach. Pavel mentioned DD. DD stands for Daily Dictation. That's my YouTube channel, and we have, I think, about 250 lessons that will help you with your listening, your dictation, your pronunciation, your American culture. They're short lessons. They're all free, and you can find them on www.youtube.com/dailydictation. And he also mentioned E cubed. That's another channel I have on YouTube where we have almost 500 videos. Almost every day, I upload a video just like the podcast where I teach you a common American expression or a word or pronunciation. And that YouTube channel is www.youtube.com/dailyeasyenglish. So if you combine E cubed and the Daily Easy English Expression podcast, every day you can have a great lesson. And our final comment comes from Alexander from Lida in Belarus. Spasibo. Thank you so much. Thanks, Shane. Great class. Alexander is a DDM member, and he has been a DDM member since March of 2013. Alexander works very hard. He practices every week with me, and I know for sure if Alexander went to America, he would have no problem fitting in and understanding American English. So Alexander, I thank you. Everybody who leaves a comment, who leaves a rating, you're encouraging me to keep going. It means so much to me. Now, people have asked, Shane, you've got, so many videos, so many podcasts, and they're all free. But what can we do? Well, there are two things, of course. You can join DDM. But, that takes a lot of time. DDM classes are not too expensive, but time is the biggest problem for most people. If you don't have time, I don't recommend DDM. DDM takes 30 minutes, at least 30 minutes a day. But still, there is something you can do. I just started another website. It's www.patreon.com/Coach Shane. That's www.patreon.com/Coach Shane. That's COACHSHANE. And if you go here, you can be my patron, which means you can be my sponsor. You can help me pay for my computers, my microphones, my cameras, my software, my electricity, my rent. I have lots of bills. I spend, as you know, this is my job, and every little bit helps. If you go to Patreon, you can donate $1 a month. That's all I'm asking. $1 a month. And you might say, $1? What's that going to do? That's nothing. Well, believe me, if we had, a couple hundred people giving $1, that definitely helps me so much. My internet is $93 a month. My electricity is, I don't know, this month it's so hot, so I'm thinking about $150 a month. I just upgraded my Sony Vegas software. That was another $150 a month. There are always big expenses that I run into, and it's not easy. But with your help, I can continue doing this. So if you have $1 a month or more, $5 is great. $100 is fantastic. Go to www.patreon.com/Coach Shane. Now remember, when you sign up at Patreon, at the end of every month, they will charge your credit card $1. Or if you chose $5, they'll charge you $5. They will charge you every month at the end of the month. So if you decide that you do not want to sponsor, you can cancel. Or let's say you give $5 a month, but next month, you don't have the money, you can change it to $1. It's no problem. And if you win the lottery, you can change it to $100. That's great too. But the point is, if you want to help, if you can help, $1 a month would mean so much. I just want to say, once again, thank you to everybody. You guys listening and sharing my podcasts and my videos means the world to me, and I promise to be your English coach as long as I can. Have a fantastic week, everybody. And remember, let's master English.